Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 12 of Project Ozone 3. In between episodes, I made myself a new pair of ashen goggles since I took a bloodbath last episode and destroyed them. I also made this platform and put the stuff that I've already created from Immersive Engineering on it, with the exception of the blast furnace, because we're going to be making the advanced blast furnace. Another thing I want to go over before we begin is user Fledorius, which is just an awesome name. Where is my hammer? There it is. Brought it up to me that apparently this is different than how I remember it. You used to have to configure the pumps differently. So I'm going to hit this. Wrong hammer. So this is now blank. Nothing is happening to it. If you shift, right click, it configures the other side, which I had no idea about, and that's awesome. So I didn't even have to break my coke oven last episode, and just shift right click, and that's how it works, which is excellent. Another thing he brought up is the piston that's right here on the metal press. The engineering hammer can rotate blocks. I'm sure I knew that at one time, but I obviously forgot it. I replaced lava with yellorium blocks, and yellorium I just get from sieving, and I'm creating more than enough power to run this metal press, with the difference between how cold the packed ice is and how hot the yellorium is. That's all well and good. But this episode we're going to do some more immersive engineering. Mainly we're going to improve our blast furnace and make some preheaters for that, and we're also going to get into the squeezer, fermenter, refinery, and diesel generators, which is actually quite a lot. It's quite a lot. So let's get to it. I'm making some steel plates right now, and you can see that with the yellorium and the packed ice, all I need is one thermoelectric generator, and it is more than keeping up with the power needed to make 27 steel plates. These 27 steel plates and the 27 blast bricks you have make reinforced blast bricks. Set those up just like a normal furnace. Put a hopper on top and hit it with a hammer. And boom! Got an improved blast furnace. Isn't that lovely? I don't know why I oriented it this way. I should probably rotate it 90 degrees. But these slots right here and this up here are all necessary in order to automate this. So this has 4 sides for automation of the creation of steel using the blast furnace. I'm going to make up the preheaters, and I'm going to make up some more conveyor belts, and I'll show you how to automate that. Alright, so we're ready to make our blast furnace preheaters. First thing we need 2 external heaters. I'm making 2 of these, so. And then surround those with iron sheet metal, and that's easy. Just 4 iron plates in a diamond pattern. So, making 2 of those. Ba-boom. I have my, I'm making more copper plates right now, because I'm probably going to need them later. All I have to do is place these, and I placed this one wrong. Here we go. There we go. Now these do require power, so you're going to have to attach some connectors to it, and in here is actually the input for your blast furnace, or you can access it from any direction, but if you want to automate it, you just drop them right in here. Let's get that set up. Alright, I have the power hooked up to the preheaters now. Put down another thermoelectric generator with a yellorium and packed ice. So I have the medium voltage wire connector going to this relay here. This relay is attaching to the wire connectors on each of the preheaters. If I tried connecting from this connector to that connector, and then this connector to that connector, it wouldn't work. In order for that to work, I'll just show you right now. So right-clicking as if I want to connect it, it says you cannot attach this wire here. That's because one connector can only go to one connector. That's what the relays are for. The relays can go to multiple connectors in turn. And I really should insulate this. I mentioned I would last episode. Alright, I'm going to pop in some iron here, and I should probably get some coal coke. Alright, so I have my coal coke in here. And you can see that the blast furnace preheater, the power is going down. As the power goes down, and it does take a while for everything to start up. Funny, I remember these fans spinning. But it takes a while for the preheaters to actually activate, and once they do, this will just, it won't zoom, but it will go noticeably faster than if the preheaters weren't installed. Even though I showed you hooking up 2 connectors and making 2 preheaters, I'm only going to go with the 1 preheater setup, mainly because I still make all of my steel with the Tinker Smeltery. It is much quicker, and it always has been. But I have 1 preheater going right now, and 1 preheater is more than enough to take care of. Yeah, see, I'm full and not even losing anything. So I'm going to stick with 1 preheater on the blast furnace. So looking in here, I got 1 block of steel, and I have 9 slag, which is as to be expected. So I'm going to put this storage drawer here, and I'm going to put a storage drawer back here. And you can absolutely do this with conveyors if you want to keep factory look, but I'm not worried about that right now. This is just for displaying purposes. When I have the when I start making the main base over the weekend, then I'll actually start worrying about conveyors. But with these storage drawers, my blocks of steel are automatically going in, and my slag is automatically going out. Perfect. Last thing I want to go over before we move on. I mentioned last episode, but I didn't really go into detail. So this intermediate frequency right here that's going out, the thermoelectric generators take the difference between what the coldest block you have is and the hottest block you have. So Yellorium is, I think, 2000 Kelvin, and this is 200, or negative 200. Let's take a look at that. So yeah, looking at the packed ice, I have 200 degrees Kelvin, and then Yellorium blocks are 2000 degree Kelvin. So the power that I'm generating right now is the difference, so 200 minus 200, so 1800 Kelvin, and that is the amount of power I am generating from this thermoelectric generator alone. When I had it with the magma earlier, it was only 1100 being generated. So Yellorium is the better. Once I have plutonium blocks, you can bet we'll replace the Yellorium with the plutonium. So I've made most of the items I need in order to make the squeezer, except for here, the rods. So I need to make steel fences, and I wanted to test something out. So I'm going to drop some steel in. Oh, okay, that is unfortunate. Okay, never mind. So 2 steel ingots makes 4 steel rods, and it looks like this 1 ingot is making 2 rods. So I'm not losing anything by, or gaining anything by using the metal press instead of a crafting table. But in any case, let's make the steel fence. And I forget how many I need, so I'm gonna make 6. Boom. Quest should be complete. Next thing I need to make is the fermenter. And I'm going to make all of these machines, and then I will set them all up. So I've made both the squeezer and the fermenter. And the way that you get this to work is not via the front, as you would think. I'm right-clicking the center block. It's actually on the side. So if you use your engineer's hammer to click on the side, you'll make both the squeezer and the fermenter. Looking around on this side, and at this side, you'll see these blue. This is where the input to your fermenter, and your squeezer. And the orange is your output for items and your output for fluids. If you're wearing the ashen goggles like I am, then it just tells you straight up which one is the output for which. And that this is both the input for items. I've gone ahead and gotten some industrial hemp seeds, and I'm going to throw those in the squeezer. And then I'm going to have to hook some power up to this, which is why I've set these posts up. I already know that this isn't going to be the best the best setup for this right now, but I'm fine with it the way it is. So I'm going to connect my connectors to the fermenter and the squeezer, and then run cable to my relay. And then run cable over here. So now you see that the squeezer is working. It's getting that power. But as the squeezer works, I'm going to be getting plant oil. And with the industrial hemp, it's actually going to be the best output for plant oil that I can get. So 120 millibuckets. I forgot to mention in the last episode, but whenever you have one of the redstone components in your multi-block, all you have to do is attach a lever to it, and you can change. So I just turned that off. Now it's on again. And you can do that with any machine that has a redstone component in its multi-block. You can also hit it with a hammer, and it will invert. So right now it's stopped, and now it's not. We've gone over that the squeezer makes plant oil. What the fermenter does is it takes things like apples or sugarcane, watermelon, apples, or potatoes, and it makes ethanol. It will always make, no matter what the recipe is, 80 millibuckets. So I have apples for days. That's what I'm going to do. Turn it on. So while it's doing its thing, I'm going to be getting my ethanol out of it. And while both of these are going, I'm going to get started on the refinery. And I'm going to rotate it as well. Hitting the middle click will actually allow you to rotate your machine in the projector. So I just rotated that, and I'm going to get the refinery built. So I got it built up right now. All you have to do is hit the center block right here, and boom, you have your refinery made. It has two inputs, one on each side, a redput interface, and output, and the power goes right here. What's going to happen when you make this is you're going to have two inputs, and it's going to convert into one output. The reason we're doing that is so that we can make diesel fuel. And how are we doing? 5280 and 2240. In the middle of hooking up power right now, and realized I forgot to tell you that all you need to do in these wooden posts is hit it with an engineer's hammer, and a little arm pops out. Only one arm will pop out, so you have to clear it out and then hit another side, and it'll go up. But that's how I've been getting those arms. Once I have the arm, you can place whatever you want, and like a lantern. And once you actually have this arm out, the lantern connects. Otherwise, it's really weird looking. So I have enough plant oil and ethanol now that I am going to place them at both of the inputs and turn this puppy on. So why is it not using power? Alright, so I've made some fluid pumps, and I'm making this an input, making that an output, and turning that on. And there we go. So now I have ethanol and plant oil inside the machine. And now it's actually being made. So you require the pump. You can't just place the quantum tank at the input and expect it to go, just like you could with the output here. And wow, that is making that fast. It's actually kind of impressive. But I'm making all this biodiesel. Before we continue, I want to go over the 3 quests that I haven't completed yet. The first of which is the Automatic Lubricator. I don't even know why this quest is here right now, because none of the other quests even go over something that the lubricator can attach to. The lubricator can go onto the crusher, the excavator, and the pump jack. Of course, which I haven't even made. So I don't know why. I'm not going to make this on camera. I'm not even going to bother. Same with the water wheel. The thermoelectric generators are doing their job just fine, and I don't need the inferior power that water wheels provide. And then I have the garden cloche, which I would love to make the garden cloche. Unfortunately, it is locked behind the advanced crafting table. So I can't do that right now. But those 3 quests I haven't completed for those reasons, and this one these 2 I'll just do off screen because they're useless and we gain nothing from doing them. But now I'm going to make the diesel generator. I'll come back to you as I'm making the generator blocks and the radiator block. I have made 4 heavy machinery blocks. Why does it not count? But we've never made the generator block or the radiator block, so I'll come back as I'm making those to show you how to make them. The first block, the radiator block, is simple enough to make. It's steel ingots, copper ingots, and a water bucket in the center. You may get 2 of them, and 2 of them. And it uses up the water, you get your buckets back. I need 9 of them for the diesel generator, so I'm going to continue making them. Next is the generator block, which requires a Kinetic Dynamo, something I haven't made yet. So the Kinetic Dynamo is easy enough to make. Iron ingots, redstone, and then a copper coil block. What the Kinetic Dynamo is for is if you had a water wheel or a windmill, you would connect that to this block, and it would, as the water wheel or the windmill starts spinning, it would generate the energy. Then that energy could be transferred somewhere else. But we're using them for our generator blocks. So, generator blocks are electrum and steel. You get 2 each, and I need 4. So the generator blocks are complete. Out of morbid curiosity, mainly because my knowledge has been proven to be outdated, I made a lubricator. And I'm looking at these multi-blocks right now, just seeing whether or not they can attach. And they cannot. Alright. So the lubricator, once you're holding it in your hand, if it can be attached to something, a hologram will show up, showing which side that it can be attached to. So if nothing can be attached to, then all right. Also, I missed this when I was reading the quest earlier, but because lube. Someone just wanted to make a lube joke. I think that's why it was put in there. All right, time to make this diesel generator. Nope, put all the blocks in. Alright, hit it with a hammer. We got the diesel generator. Get rid of the hologram. So, put a lever right there to turn it on and off. You got your input. And whoop. And here are your power outputs. So you have multiple outputs because this thing is capable of generating... Actually, I think it's one of the only things capable of generating high voltage. So, if you want high voltage stuff, you put your high voltage connectors here. Put your biofuel in, your biodiesel in. And you're cooking with gas. Or cooking with diesel, rather. There are a couple more things I want to go over before I end up this episode. So the first one is the fluid pump. So I know that I'm just using a lever right now for redstone, but that's only because there are no pipes in between. So this is actually a pressurized fluid mover. And if you had fluid pipes connected to it, like so, if you had fluid pipes moving to and from it, then you would need to supply power to it. But since I'm only going from block to block, no power, just redstone powered, that's all well and good. The next thing I want to go over is insulated wire. I was talking about it a little bit in the last episode, but I'm actually going to make them now because I've mistakenly run into those wires a couple times. So I made this tough fabric, which is really easy to make. It's just industrial hemp fiber surrounded by a stick. You get one tough fabric. The tough fabric is what you use to make your insulated wire, and I am going to make 2 of them. Bada bing. So when you have your insulated wire, connect you, that means I can run into the wire now and not get shocked, and it won't do damage to me. Now I know I have full saturation, so I don't really run out of health, but then again, I did die to Big Brother earlier. So I'm just gonna connect all this stuff up and not have to worry about being shocked. Boom. Well, with that, I am actually going to call this an episode. It was, I feel like it was kind of short, honestly. But over the weekend, what I'm going to do is I am actually going to remove most of the stuff from all of these platforms and move it onto a main base idea I have. So starting right here, I'm actually going to make a very, very large factory looking building. That factory is going to be made with nether bricks, fiery nether bricks, and gloomy nether bricks. Each room in the factory is going to have, same as what I did with the platforms, a different theme. So there's going to be an embers room in this factory. There, of course, there's going to be industrial engineering and industrial petroleum. But yeah, each room in the factory is going to have a different theme. So I'm going to have to build that up and transfer everything over. I got my work cut out for me, but that's going to be the weekend's plan. And once again, I've been proven wrong that, or my information is outdated 3 times so far while I'm working with Immersive Engineering. So if I do mess something up or if my information is outdated, please tell me in the comments and I'll fix myself and make sure you get the credit for fixing me. But with that, I'm Kelly Engineering, and I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.